You are walking through a busy street. You catch the eye of a complete stranger, and suddenly your brain locks in. Without a single word spoken, you feel a jolt of recognition that overrides your immediate surroundings. This also manifests in a darker form. You find yourself trapped in a painful, repetitive loop with a partner, where the friction feels entirely scripted, as if you are both following a historical blueprint against your own will. Modern psychology attributes these intense dynamics to subconscious projection, or the brain searching for familiar patterns in a sea of coincidences. Yet when these feelings persist, despite a total lack of shared history in this life, we have to account for where that data originated. This level of intensity suggests a narrative that began before your current biography. Our everyday social encounters appear to be the visible surface of a hidden, multi-generational chain of cause and effect. Eastern philosophy defines these invisible, persistent ties through a concept known as Rinanubandh. Rinanubandh functions as a mechanical emotional ledger. When we experience profound love or deep trauma, the scale tips. This generates a node of debt, energy that remains active after a physical body ceases to exist. This unresolved energy travels through the cycle of birth after birth. It remains stored in the background of our consciousness, waiting for the precise moment it can be balanced. This instant spark with a stranger marks the moment we reopen an ancient ledger with a familiar soul. To understand how this ledger dictates our present-day dysfunction, we can look at the specific mechanics of unresolved pain. Consider a scenario from the 19th century. One business partner snatches a contract, betraying the other. The victim dies, carrying an accumulation of anger and betrayal that was never settled. In a modern corporate office, two new coworkers meet and immediately fall into a cycle of intense mistrust. Despite a clear lack of professional conflict in this life, the hostility is immediate and visceral. They are reacting to the emotional debt left behind by their past life counterparts. The ledger has brought them together specifically to settle that psychological math. Unexplainable friction in your current relationships is often the echo of a historical betrayal demanding closure. This ledger tracks positive spiritual debt with the same precision, creating what we recognize as the bonds of destiny. If two companions were separated by tragedy centuries ago, they may have left behind a reservoir of unspent devotion. In the modern world, this feels like an undeniable sense of safety. You meet a stranger, and your defenses drop instantly. Trust is established in seconds, accompanied by deep physical comfort. These souls are finally cashing in the peace and devotion they were previously denied. The most effortless loves of our lives stand as the inevitable reunions of ancient companions. You can identify the karmic bonds in your own life by looking for a few clear, practical indicators. Step 1. Track the instant reaction. Relationships sparking intense attraction or aversion. Step 2. Identify the loop. Recurring, illogical arguments that never resolve. Step 3. Recognize the lesson. When acknowledged, the spiral straightens into a path of healing. By applying this framework, we move from being passive observers of our relationship patterns to conscious participants in our own healing. All the evidence of these patterns suggests that those we hold closest arrived in our lives by appointment. Our friends, our enemies, and our lovers serve as our eternal teachers. Our current lives are merely the newest chapters in a story that predates our memory. Explore the invisible bonds of destiny and read the full story of Rinanubandh at ravindrapastor.com. Your soul may already remember it.